Welcome back to the vlog. Lots of things to talk about today. Today is February 20th. It's a Tuesday, and today I turned in the manuscript for the book, Eat Their Lunch. And amazingly, it's already up on Amazon for pre-order, even though they just got the manuscript today. And they got a fake cover up there. I hope it's a fake cover. I'm sure it's a fake cover. And just as a placeholder, but you can pre-order right now. Don't do that though. Do not pre-order. You want to wait because there's going to be all kinds of launch stuff coming, and just wait for the launch stuff. The other thing that I have to talk about right now, well, first let's talk about the book real quick. When you write a book, you're in a room like this, you're by yourself, you're typing, you're sharing these ideas. Some of the ideas you've taught for years. Some of the ideas you're really just codifying for the first time and putting them on paper because it's the first chance you've had to do that. But you're by yourself and you're with a keyboard and you're typing and there's no one else in the room. And then you start sharing it with editors and other people start to give you their opinions on your work. And it comes back and it's a mess of red and there's pieces deleted. And you think, this is my baby, and they destroyed it. And then you look at it and you go, wait, this is probably right. We probably do need to give people more information here. And this probably is redundant. We'll cut it out. And you go through this process, and that is the painful part of the process. For me, the writing part is easy. It's the editing part that's painful because you're just back and forth over the same ground again and again and again. But that's what tightens a book up and it makes it readable for you later on. This book is longer than the other two books, The Only Sales Guide You'll Ever Need and The Lost Art of Closing. Those books are about 5,000 words shorter. This one's probably going to be a little bit longer than that because I still have a couple of things that we need to put in, including a foreword from Jeb Blunt, who hopefully will see this and remember that he has to send me something super cool because he's writing the foreword and his name will be on the book, so that's good. And then a couple other things here to talk about. One, the virtual sales kickoff 2 days from now, the 22nd at noon. There's 8,000 people signed up for this right now. It's more than we had last year. It's me, it's Jeb, it's Mike Weinberg, it's Mark Hunter talking about productivity in sales. That's the topic. Go to virtualsaleskickoff.com to sign up for that. It's awesome. We're also down to, I think, 2 tickets left for the VIP seats at the Outbound conference. So if you want to show up at Outbound, you want to do that. If you want to be in the VIP seats and you want the VIP experience, which is a private cocktail party and plated lunch and some other things, go to outboundconference.com and get the VIP tickets now before they're gone. Okay, so I continue to write about a group of sales experts that I call Henny Penny. And Henny Penny was a character in a fable, and Henny Penny is this chicken that runs around telling everybody that the sky is falling because an acorn fell on her head. And she gets everybody all worked up over nothing. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, everybody dies at the end of the fable because somebody ran around screaming it was the end of the world, and it wasn't the end of the world. Except for them, it was the end of the world because of the way they behaved. And so there are some people who write about sales and talk about sales and share things on LinkedIn who continue to tell you that the sky is falling, even though this is lecturing birds on how to fly. I mean, salespeople, if you're watching this, you already sell. You're already making sales. You already know how to do a lot of these things. And to walk around and pretend that the world has changed so much that none of the things that ever worked don't work anymore is an enormous lie, and it's a huge mistake. And even more than that, and I haven't written this enough, I'm going to write more about it, maybe tomorrow. The fact of the matter is, most of the big things in sales and commercial relationships have not changed. Things like trust, things like caring, things like creating value, things like being other-oriented, things like doing good discovery work and helping really understand the root cause of a problem. Those are the important things. And I did this video a week ago or two talking about how the modern salesperson isn't digital. The tools didn't change any of this. And yet people still say something like, you can't interrupt your dream client. You can't interrupt them because they're busy and they're working on big problems. And you can't disturb them because they don't have time to work with salespeople because they're working on all these big challenges. Well, what do you think salespeople help people do? What do you think that they do? I never understand this. To me, it's the most shocking thing is that this person's working on a problem, so you shouldn't interrupt them. That's why you should interrupt them, is because they're working on a problem and you can help them. So I wrote a post, and I'm just going to riff on it here for a minute because it's important. If you are a time waster, if you're calling to check in and you don't have anything to say, for God's sake, don't call anybody. I mean, don't do that. Don't waste their time. Don't waste your time. Don't show up that way. I wrote a story in the first book about a guy who called me every quarter for like 20 years. He since has given up on calling me, which ruins my story because I was hoping it would go on for the rest of my life. But every quarter he'd say the same thing. Just checking in to see if anything changed in your world. The whole world changed, and he didn't recognize that anything changed. He didn't recognize that my business changed or that I would need something else. That's a time waster. If you don't have what I call business acumen and situational knowledge, if you don't know how to help people, if you don't understand what changes they need to make, don't call anybody. It's good advice. Do not call anybody if you don't know anything. If you're a know-nothing, work really hard to know things so that you can call somebody. That's really, really important. You should not interrupt people if you don't have something worth their time to interrupt them with. That's what's most important. But if, on the other hand, if you're a value creator, if you're somebody who has deep chops, I mean, you have the ability to actually help people, if you understand the intersection of your business and their business better than they do, and you can sit across from them as a peer, as trusted counsel, as somebody who knows what needs to come next, and you can share those ideas, you're worth taking time to meet. And if you're worth making time to meet because you create value, then you should absolutely be interrupting your client. And again, I never understand people that suggest that these things have changed in sales. The choice of being proactive or reactive has never changed. If you decide when they get hurt, then I'll come in and I'll try to help them, you're not anybody's trusted advisor. Because a trusted advisor wouldn't let you get hurt. The trusted advisor would come to you and say, don't do that, you're going to get hurt. Let's do this instead, and let's make sure we avoid this risk, or let's make sure we capitalize on this opportunity. So listen, Henny Penny is going to get hit on the head with an acorn and tell you that the sky is falling. The sky is not falling. The economy is going to be $19.4 trillion. Right now, GDP is probably going to come in at 3.5% or 4 or 5%. People are buying things. People are selling things. And it doesn't matter if anybody tells you the sky is falling. It's not, and you know this. And when the sky starts falling, you'll be better positioned by being a value creator and interrupting people with good ideas anyway. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. I'm Anthony Iannarino. Hit subscribe. This is Everyday.